once it gets planted up there. I'm going to tell you a little story about, worked at a corporation once, and remember, people aren't aware they're doing this, and it's very important. Forgive them, fathers, they don't know what they do. It seems pretty reasonable to me. And this business sales guy had a real severe facial. That's not real fun like that. So they had me come do some executive coaching, and I said, Jerry, I have to work with you. And he said, what's the problem, Don? I said, you know, it's really your meetings. You get this severe facial tick. You do this all the time in meetings. And he said, what facial tick? You didn't know. Because these choices are done in unconscious level. There's another little one. We have a lot more power over choice than we think. And that's the assumption. Our power of choice is our magic pill. That's how we're going to change. And we've got that. That's ours. That's God-given. That's the way we're designed from the creators with the power of choice to live healthy lives. Now, many people talk about they're addicted, they're out of control, they're powerless, they can't make choices. I'll tell you a little story about that. I was in a maximum security prison one time. I was working with a young man named Alex. He was always fighting. He was always beating up guards and inmates, everybody. And I'd talk to him and say, I'm addicted, and I'm compulsive, and I'm out of control, and I'm helpless, and you know, all these words you hear over and over again. And one day we had a guy named James come to prison, and he was a well-known professional heavyweight fighter. And I noticed over the next few months that Alex never messed with James. And so one day I said, could you explain if you're addicted, out of control, and compulsive, how come you never jump up on James? You know, I started beating on him. Jump up on James? Fantastic. Dr. Hardy, I'm compulsive. I'm addicted. I'm out of control. But I'm not crazy. It's really quite a tragedy that people are doing painful behaviors, self-defeating behaviors, and they simply don't know how to change. They don't have the right information on how to change. And that's exactly what I spent my professional career trying to provide that. Right back to what we say, you learn the information, you apply the information, you can make a positive behavioral change permanently. People are in a blind box. And the blind box is they do self-defeating behaviors, they suffer. These are all negative consequences. Now, we're doing behaviors that hurt us, and we're back to afraid to stop it. Now, how do we get out of the box? What people do, because they don't know how to get out of the box, is they find a way to minimize the prices, to drive them down. So, for my example, I weigh over 300 pounds. All kinds of problems with arthritis and gout, self-image, just a lot of problems, professional career problems. Did you ever try to go out and lecture around the country and write books internationally about self-defeating behaviors, and you weigh 300 pounds? The reaction of people in the audience was, is this guy a psychologist or a comedian? I mean, try that. That was a lot of fun. So what they do is they minimize this. So how do they do that? Weigh 300 pounds, negative things are happening to me. Anti-inflammatories. Anti-inflammatories. And there's the trick. Anti-inflammatories make it, you can keep the behavior, so it's afraid to stop, and we can numb the consequences. Now the problem is this becomes an additional problem because it starts, anti-inflammatories start eating your stomach up. So you have someone who's depressed and sad and alone, and so they start drinking. Now they're alone and they're drunk, they're alcoholics, they're all by themselves. They're someone that gambles because he's bored, now he's broken bored. And what happens is that blind box again. People keep doing behaviors, they don't know how to change the negative results, so they distort the results. And they basically do that by minimizing and by disowning the behavior. My dad used to say when I was growing up, if anyone ever accuses you of being from a dysfunctional family, just deny it. That was his information. And blaming other things is a common thing. Once I blame something outside of me, I can keep the behavior. I had a couple that sought for marriage counseling one time, and he would not have sexual relationships with his wife. And you know, this creates a problem in relationships. So I had a brain man with her, and I said, we got to address the issue. Why won't you have sexual relationships with your wife? And he said, I'll tell you the truth, Dr. Hardy. Lack of protein in my diet. I was ready for him. I said, if that were true, the price of eggs would be phenomenal. So how do you break the cycle? What you have to do is you have to get the prices working for you. That's a corrective system in the universe. I had all those negative results in my weight issues. Those results were saying, go the other way, get on another road. And what happens is another little twist in the mind. And the twist is, people got the right idea and the wrong behavior. If you work with people and you get into why they're doing that behavior, you're going to find they got the right idea. what could possibly be the right idea about eating disorders? What do you want out of life? I want to be thin and beautiful and have dates and be respected and have a companion. Is that a good idea? Yeah. You ever been around these people with eating disorders, what they look like? It's really the big lie. It's a trick in the mind. It's a great deceiver. It's a divider. It's an illusion. And people follow that illusion. And they want that weight loss so bad that they can cleave to that self-defeating behavior. When I weighed 200 pounds, what was my big lie? What was my right idea of wrong behavior? What was the idea? Why was it the right idea? I want to be fun, have fun and excitement, and I don't want to be bored, and I want things to be free and open. 300 pounds, is it fun and exciting? I think not. No, it's the exact opposite. And that's what you're going to find. The lie is the exact opposite. We think we're getting this, but we're getting negative things. But we so want that so much we want that. We feel that inside. That we're blind and minimize this and drive those prices down. So the key is getting the prices to work for you. We have to get those prices working for us. And the way to break the cycle is what we've historically done in our minds, is we've taken our self-defeating behaviors and we've connected them to our fears. I'm afraid I'm dumb and stupid, and so I skip school, argue with teacher, don't say, and I fail. And that's a very powerful connection, but it's the wrong connection. We have to take our self-defeating behaviors and connect it to the results. What really happened? Am I alive and excited and free and undisciplined with my weight issues? No, what were the results? I was horrible physical results, emotional results, and career results. So you got to take that behavior and move it to what really belongs. It doesn't belong with the fears, it belongs with the results. Now how do you do that? There's a little exercise I call the price wheel. Put your major self-defeating behavior in the middle. What major areas of your life does it hit? Let's say it hits your health. How does it affect your health? Medication issues, swollen joints, doctor visits. And you start bringing this up more and more and more, what really happens. And then compare with it. What was the promise? First you start with the promise. What do you think you're getting? You got the right idea, remember that, but you get the wrong behavior. So look at the promise, write the promises up, fill up the price wheel, and you're going to be astounded at the gap between what's promised and what's delivered. And you use that gap as motivation to limit your self-defeating behaviors. Remember I said at the start, there's a free mini download at www.stopsdb.com, a little 5-page abstract to help you with some of the concepts here. I'll tell you one more story we're done. I have an attorney friend downtown. He's very greedy, very angry, very negative person. He's so angry, it's a severe facial tick. Like all the time he's like this. He's so mad all the time, greedy all the time. You can't stand being around him. About 2 years ago, he went into practice with another attorney who ironically had the same identical tick he did. And it worked out for a while, but one of them got out of sync and they haven't seen each other for a year and a half now. Goodbye.